This is a little bit of hard talk, especially to myself. So I got hit with everything when I came back. Like I came back, everything was great. Anita was staying with me for a little bit because the army was paying, for her motel down in Fort Lewis, and she didn't feel safe, and so she wanted to stay with me until she got a safe place. And so I said, "Well, I got my 2 bedrooms," and then I got a 10-day notice to be evicted, to evacuate the building because her service dog was a large dog, which is a violation of the 20-pound dog policy. And then, so she didn't feel safe. She was being confronted every time she walked through the door. What do you have a key for? She said, well, you know, my father is sick and we're taking care of him. And they said that there's a lot of people that are sick in the building and that their families don't have keys. And I thought, what a fucking rude thing to say. Especially since she was locked out one night. Cash was sleeping on my cell phone. I thought she was going to be at the motel down near Fort Lewis while she was looking for houses. And she rang me from downstairs. I guess she didn't feel safe again. She told me she didn't in a motel by herself. And so she came up with her service dog. That's 28 pounds. She has a 28-pound service dog. So, okay, 8 pounds over limit. I don't even know what that means. But a service dog has access to all places at all times under any circumstances. The only place a service dog is not allowed is where food is being prepared. And so we walked into the building after we took the dogs out for a party, and there was a bit of a shing-ding downstairs. And then one of the community managers who had sexually fucking assaulted me walked up to us and said, dogs aren't allowed around the food. I don't know where people come up with these edicts that they think they know what policy versus protocol versus predicate versus, a preponderance of ignorance is really what it is. I mean, my dog goes with me everywhere for 11 fucking years he has. And I've been dealing with this faggot shit the whole time. Like, what's your dog saying? My cash money. All right. That right there is an immediate discount to my credibility. Why? I named him Cash Money to make me feel better after my employees stole my company from me and fucking embezzled everything from me because they didn't think a faggot needed money and they had children to support. I was paying them big bucks. Big bucks. I mean, my payroll was like $22,000 a week. So, I had shit to do. I broke my ego. Wow. I was snapping on my porcelain eagle, and her wings fell off. That's interesting. Maybe there's a metaphor in there somewhere. I don't know. So, anyways, Clint, I wanted to talk to you about this because I made an agreement with myself. Oh, look at all the broken wings outside. I have broken wings everywhere all over me. I better pick them up. They look like shark teeth. So, in my late 20s, I think I was 27. I had a buddy of mine, a fishing buddy of mine. He was my best friend. He caught me. He had a 45 in his fucking motel room. He called me from Arkansas. He's like, hey, tell me what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, hold up, how you doing? Oh, well, I'm in a hotel in Arkansas. I said, there are no hotels in Arkansas. You're in a motel anyways, for clarification purposes. He said the key didn't work to his front door when he came home from sea. And some guy handed him papers and locked the door. And all of his his trucks, his equipment, everything was gone. There was 2 brand new Corvettes in the driveway. So the bitch took his $500,000 in his investment account, Fidelity, wiped him the fuck out. Oh man, boosh. Turned out to be the guy from the car wash, local manager from the car wash. She was fucking him while he was at sea, and so he came back and his key didn't work. And his $500,000 was gone. So he went into the barn that he put a new roof on the previous summer, and he went to his gun lockup. That was the first thing I asked him when he said he was in a hotel. I said, "Who the fuck is that bitch in your house?" He's like, "I think it's the car wash guy." Like, I'm like, man, the car wash guy got a new Corvette, and your horses got new saddles, and you got no truck. He said, "No, I got no truck." I said, "Man." So I asked him, that's when I asked him, I'm like, "Did you stop by your gun locker before you went to the motel?" He was quiet. I said, "What do you got with you?" He's like, 45. I said, "Okay. You're going to make a mess out of everything. You can't do that." I said, "If you kill yourself, I'm going to come down there, chop up your body, and scatter it into the woods. You'd be like you never existed." I'm like, "If you only need a new truck, fly to Seattle. I'll buy you anything you want. Any fucking truck you want. We'll just hit the lot." He said, "Well, I still have my Amex card. That's my own, and so I could fly to Seattle tomorrow." Okay, man. I said, "On your way to the airport, toss the 45 into a river, and I'll buy you a truck." We walked along the lot. Clint, it was cool. Right, and he's a very fucking respectful, handsome guy. Fucking man. I mean, this guy's like 6'4", 240 when he was fucking in his 20s. He had an 8-pack, not a 6-pack, right? All the girls who were watching him met in the net with the mist flowing all over his fucking statuesque body. It was fucking nonsense. It was absolute nonsense. And so, his daughters were left to the demise of his wife's proclivities, to need her fucking plumbing fixed while he was out sea making 25 grand a month or something, right? I mean, at least. Sometimes a lot more. I was making $1,600 a day when I was at sea. For a period. Mostly when the fish were spawning. When the fish are having sex, you make more money because you get the eggs. And that's what I'm talking about. So, I made a commitment to myself. A promise to myself. Like a heartfelt promise. I said, okay. And it wasn't just because of that. Because another friend of mine, Yvonne Scolzi, had an emotional collapse. And she called me too in her last moments, but she survived. Because I was able to call the police and they broke down the door and pumped her stomach and she survived. Now, yesterday was the first day of my entire life that I felt totally defeated. I know how smart I am, but I also remember my promise. I remember my promise to myself, so I booked a train ticket all the way across country in a beautiful room, and I can lay in the window with cash in a private room and redress this. And, I can't be, fucking tripping on the road, because I have my boy with me. So he's the thing that stabilizes. And people don't respect him. They don't realize how important he is. They don't fucking get it, man. I mean, alright, if I was on my own, without my dog, I'm telling you the truth, if I was on my own without my dog, I'd be dead right now. So I fucking gotta take this train trip with him. And I have to be sober the whole time. which, you know, isn't something I like to do, but that's because I'm in my cups right now. That's what you call it, being in your cups. Well, since I broke the eagle, I should take it off. So, just wanted to let you know that I ain't gonna kill myself. I'm going on a nice train trip across the entire United States of America. I'm gonna document the whole thing. Just me and my boy. You know, my buddy Rick wants to go, but he fucked up. He got Suboxone and shit, and so he too heavily medicated to be fucking dealing with it. And, you know, my own problem is self-medication, and I can't carry that many boxes of wine, so I ain't gonna play with it, and I can't play with cash on the road. So, anyways, that's my good morning to you, Clint.